Hello and welcome to this video about how to become an angel investor. In this video I will show you how to start as an angel investor with very limited capital. I have a link in the description below to give you £25 free investment credit to make your first angel investment. So if you're ready, let's get started. So what are the benefits then of being on the Seedrs platform? So Seedrs, the equity crowdfunding platform, is very good for an investor because it lets you diversify your risk. You can bet on a lot of different startup companies and don't need lots of capital to be able to do that. If you have more companies in your portfolio on Seedrs, it lets you benefit then if some of those companies do increase in value. If you have more companies, it's less likely that you will lose money because you have that diversity across a wide range of companies. A second benefit then of being on the Seedrs platform is you don't need a lot of capital to get up and running as an angel investor. Normally angel investors in the UK need £5,000 to make an investment in a company. That's the sort of investment any owner in a business would look for to let that person get ownership in their business. On Seedrs, you can buy a share from as little as £1. So if you were investing 5,000, you wouldn't have to just bet on one company like you would traditionally as an angel investor. So the disadvantages then of being an angel investor or being on the Seedrs crowdfunding platform includes that a lot of startups fail. So over 90% of different startup companies fail every year. This would mean that you'd have to bet on at least 10 companies on the Seedrs platform and only one of them will be successful if the averages of startups failing continues on in the future. As well as that then, you would also not have much due diligence to be able to do on a startup company compared to a more established blue chip business. So if it is a startup company, it doesn't have a long history of different revenue streams that it has brought in. It doesn't have that much of a track record for you to look at with the management and see how they're going to perform in the future. Whereas if you have a larger, more established company, you can look at these different revenue streams and they're more diversified in that sense that they have different parts of the business that will shore up the revenue of the whole company. But with a startup, it's you're taking a bet that this proof of concept or the growth trajectory of the business is going to continue growing into the future. Finally then, another disadvantage of being on the Seedrs crowdfunding platform and not being an angel investor is you don't get as much exposure to the founders. So if you are an angel investor and you've invested say 5, 10, 15,000 into a startup company, you can organize then to meet with those founders on a monthly or quarterly basis. You can have a sit down, run through the revenue projections, you can talk about their growth plans for the business then in the future and ultimately find out how ambitious they are as founders. Because ultimately you're betting on the founders of the company or the founder to see what kind of drive they have and how much ambition they have to be able to bring the business forward. So if you have invested already and you find out from these people that they're on a good journey with the company and they're going to grow it a lot, you should have an opportunity then in the future to invest again. So by having that direct exposure to them, it can give you access to another good investment opportunity with the business. That is really it for the costs and the downsides of being an angel investor.
About how to get started as an angel investor. So I am on the Seedrs website here. Seedrs is an equity crowdfunding platform. This lets you go on and invest in different startup businesses or venture capital backed businesses. Different startup companies or companies in their early years go on to Seedrs as they look to fundraise on here. So if you have a scroll down, you can see all the different companies here that are fundraising on Seedrs. So for example, you can see the amount of equity. So equity is the ownership of the business that companies are putting up for grabs for different investors that are coming onto the Seedrs platform. So you can see the amount of investment that this company has received already, and you can also see how many investors are in the business. So Seedrs shows you where the business is from, and it also shows you if you are eligible for EIS or SEIS tax exemptions. That's a story for another day. I can make a video on that as well. But just to give you an oversight of the different factors here with the businesses when you're looking on the Seedrs crowdfunding platform. So just if we take a look into here, we can see all the different businesses. So there's usually lots of businesses on this and they fundraise then for a period of time, giving investor an opportunity to come in, have a look through the business. You can see the financials as well, and you can see their plans for the future. If you click into any business, you can have a proper look at their prospectus and see if it is something that you have an idea about that you think could be worth an investment. So if we scroll up here, then you can set up your very own account here by hitting sign up. Once you get in here, type in an email address or password, or you can sign up with any of these different social media accounts. So here, if we click into this company, Crua Outdoors, we can see here that this is a follow-on round. So the company have already previously fundraised on Seedrs. They're back on again because they are looking to raise cash from different investors and use that cash then to go and grow the business. Whether that is they're expanding into new markets or offering a new product line, they come back on and they fundraise. So if you have a look here, you can see it's from Ireland. You can see the sector that the company is in, a link to their website as well, and you can see what the investment is that they're seeking. So this company is looking for 200,000. They are saying then that that is going to be worth 2.78% of the whole business. So they're offering this amount of the business to different investors on the Seedrs platform. They've already funded 265,000 in this fundraising round. So although they were only seeking 200,000, they're after raising this much. So there's a lot of investors here that are putting their money into Crua Outdoors. So with this valuation then, if the equity piece of 2.78% is worth 200,000, then they are valuing the company at close to 7 million. We can see here, you can see the proper story about the company. Gives you a couple of bullet points on what they do and how they're making their money. You can also see then a video that most companies post. It's the selling point for them really, and it is their deck for them to be able to sell the business to you.
So finally, when you are looking at startups then, you want to see how much of a proof of concept this business has. So what exactly is a proof of concept? That is to look at the idea that this company has and see how viable it is. Have they shown that through this idea, product or service that they are looking at, that it has some traction there already in the market? Or can there be potential there to pop it into another environment and for it to take off? Can you see that there has been some success already with this proof of concept idea that they have? Finally, as well as that, you would want to look into a business that has at least two founders. So it's always better to have a company with two people in it as opposed to one that are running it. If you have two founders, if one drops out for some reason due to illness or lack of motivation to keep going with the company, at least you have one other person there that's going to drive on with the company and keep it running. It's always good to know and do your due diligence on these founders. Have a sit down and have a meeting with them. You can get an understanding of them and see how ambitious they are as well. And finally then, I would say have a look on Crunchbase. So I will leave a link for Crunchbase below in the description. Crunchbase is a platform that shows you the different startup companies that are around and who has invested in them. So you can go onto Crunchbase. If you are thinking about investing in a startup company, you can see what investors are already there. So that would include institutional investors like venture capital backed firms, or you can also see if there's individual investors in some instances if they have invested a lot. So that is basically everything you need to know about angel investing and getting up and running on the Seedrs platform. As I mentioned, I have £25 free investment credit for anyone who wants it. It's in the description below. I am an affiliate of Seedrs, so I will also get £25 just for you to be aware. If you thought this video was valuable, please give it a like, and if you'd like to see more content like this, then please subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.
Hey, thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel now to see more content like this in the future. See you soon.